square-shaped sapphire earrings bordered with diamonds and hanging from 3 collet stones. The suite was made around 1850. The colour of the stones exactly matched the blue of the garter riband, although this choice may have been a coincidence on the part of the king. In 1952, the Queen had the necklace shortened by removing the largest stone, plus one of the smaller sapphires, and in 1959 a pendant was made using the big stone. So opposite above we have the King George VI sapphire suite in its velvet case, including the extra link that was removed. Opposite below we have Princess Elizabeth photographed in her drawing room at Clarence House before leaving for an official visit to Kenya in 1952. King George VI died while she was there, and this picture was withheld from distribution until after the end of court mourning on the 1st of June 1952. The necklace is its original length. When Noel Coward saw her wearing the suite at the 1954 Royal Command performance at the Palladium, he wrote, "After the show we lined up and were presented to the Queen, Prince Philip and Princess Margaret. The Queen looked luminously lovely and was wearing the largest sapphires I've ever seen." And then there's this picture above. This is in 1963. A new sapphire and diamond tiara and bracelet were made to match the original pieces. The Queen wore the complete parure when she and Prince Philip attended a charity concert in 1969. Okay, so I think this here is the next page marked. The Queen's flower spray brooch. It's gorgeous. So above left, a Cartier gold spray brooch with one flower of all blue sapphires and another of pink sapphires and cushion-cut rubies. Both have square-cut diamond centres, and one of the 3 leaves is set with pavé set diamonds. It was a birthday gift to the Queen from her parents in 1945, together with a matching pair of earrings in the shape of miniature flowers on tiny stems. Left in this picture we have her 23rd birthday on the 21st of April 1949. The first photograph was released of the Duke and Duchess of Edinburgh with Prince Charles. Above here we have the Queen's Cartier gold flower clips with clusters of cushion-shaped sapphires and brilliant cut diamonds in their centres. These were bought separately in 1942 and 1945 by King George and Queen Elizabeth. Princess Margaret was given an identical set but with ruby clusters. She sold hers some years ago at Christie's. And then this is the then Princess Elizabeth on her first visit to Washington in 1951. And next page is this one. This is the King George IV State Diadem. is a completely circular diadem. It has 4 crosses, pate set with diamonds, representing St. George, the front one with a rare honey-coloured diamond in the centre, and 4 diamond bouquets incorporating roses, thistles and shamrocks, the emblems of the United Kingdom. The diamond scrollwork band, remounted for Queen Alexandra in 1902, is framed between 2 rows of pearls, 81 in the upper row and 88 in the lower. Right, so if we go to page 164, which is the next page, here we can see Queen Elizabeth II wearing the same crown, and also here as well, this is so the 19-year-old Queen Victoria, as painted by Sir George Hayter in 1838, shown with the crown and sceptre of England placed on a table here by her side, and the garter collar worn around her shoulders, as was traditional in royal portraiture. Then below left we have Queen Alexandra in 1905. Her large diamond corsage brooch is just the centre part of Queen Victoria's massive stomacher. I think we've read about that in the last video. I'll put a link to the video in the description. And then here we have Queen Mary in May 1913 visiting Berlin for the wedding of the Kaiser's only daughter, Princess Victoria Louise, to Prince Ernst August, Duke of Brunswick. It was commonly agreed by everyone present that in her heavily beaded gown, flowing lace veil and staggering collection of 9 diamond necklaces, cullinans 3 and 4 worn as a pendant, 6 diamond brooches, diamond earrings and 2 diamond bracelets, she was the most dazzling woman there, while she enjoyed her bling. And then, as I said, opposite we have the Queen inherited the diadem in 1952 on the death of her father, and wore it for this formal portrait taken in 1957, because the Queen wears the diadem to and from the state opening of Parliament each year, and is pictured with it on all United Kingdom postage stamps. The diadem is seen by more millions of people than any other item of royal jewellery. Now, the last tagged page is this one. This is St. Edward's crown. Okay, show you that a bit closer. During the Commonwealth, Oliver Cromwell disposed of the regalia. The gold was melted down and sold for the sum of £238. When the monarchy was restored on the 29th of May 1660, new regalia had to be made before there could be a coronation. A committee was set up to oversee the work, and Sir Gilbert Talbot, Master of the Jewel House, relayed their orders to Sir Robert Viner, the court goldsmith. They instructed that one of the 2 crowns required was to be a replica of St. Edward's crown, traditionally used at the actual moment of crowning, but never worn again during a reign. The original heavy gold crown had been used since the coronation of King Edward II. It was then known as King Alfred's crown, and described as a wire work set with slight stones and 2 little bells. It may have been worn by King Edward the Confessor, later known as St. Edward, the last Anglo-Saxon monarch, arches. On the band are 16 diamond rosettes, each surrounding a semi-precious stone, which includes amethysts, green tourmalines, a pink tourmaline, yellow topazes, a white topaz, and an aquamarine. Above the circlet are 4 jewelled crosses, pate, and 4 jewelled fleur-de-lis. The arches are also set with semi-precious stones alternating with clusters of 5 rose-cut aquamarines and white topazes, and at the apex is a gold orb girdled with diamonds. At the very top is a jewel-set cross with 2 platinized gold drops hanging from the arms. Altogether, there are about 475 stones, including the 16 large ones set in the circlet. The crown is 12 inches high and 26 inches in circumference. The purple velvet cap of maintenance is edged with ermine. Okay, above, this is the climax of the coronation. This is the only time in the Queen's reign that she will ever officially wear St. Edward's crown. As the Archbishop of Canterbury held the crown aloft, he used words dating back to 973. God crown you with a crown of glory and righteousness, that having a right faith and manifold fruit of good works, you may obtain the crown of an everlasting kingdom by the gift of him whose kingdom endureth for ever. Then in the hushed silence he placed it on her head, and her hand reached up to settle it more firmly. Immediately the peers and peeresses put on their coronets, and the abbey was filled with the sound of trumpets and everyone shouting, God save the Queen. To prepare for the £5 weight, the Queen had worn the crown during the preceding weeks in Buckingham Palace, as well as the long rehearsal at the Abbey on the 27th of May. And in order to avoid the confusion that occurred at her father's coronation, 2 tiny gold stars were positioned in the velvet lining, so that the Archbishop would know which way to put it on. King George VI always claimed that he was never sure he wore the crown the right way round, and Cosmo Gordon Lang, Archbishop of Canterbury, confirmed the story. The king was very anxious that the crown should be placed on his head with the right side to the front. Accordingly, it was arranged that a small, thin line of red cotton should be inserted under one of the principal jewels on the front. It was there when I saw the crown in the annex before the ceremony, but when the dean brought the crown to me on its cushion from the altar, and I looked for my little red line, it was not there, so I had to turn the crown round to see if it was on the other side, but it was not. Some officious person must have removed it. So that's the end of the tag pages, but it's not the end of my reading, so scrap